Laws of Attraction, Chapter 2, Burden of Proof. Morning after finding out you're competing for junior partner spot, Gabe calls you and your fellow associates together. The conference room you're gathered in is thick with tension. If someone doesn't break this awkward silence, I might actually scream. I should thank Aislinn for the help with the apartment. Start small talk with Martin. Ask about his own Saturday. I'm still not over how awesome my apartment is, Aislinn. I really owe you. Aislinn gives you a small smile. Detail work has always been a bit of a strong suit. Just ask my Westlaw history. It shows. Probably why you write so many summaries for ABA, But they only credit me in the masthead, not on the summaries themselves. How did you know I do those? Did you research me? Gigi sighs and just shrugs, as if it's no big deal. Don't freak. I just like to know who writes what, and I remember things I read. Wait, does she have a photographic memory? There's no way I can compete with that. I mean, it's true, you can't. Just when the anxiety is starting to feel palpable, Gabe walks in. For a moment, you feel his gaze linger on you. Then he walks to the head of the table, thumps a stack of binders down, and gestures at Bao to pass them around. Philip Arquette, wife with cancer. Chris Lapointe, multiple dead cows. Hey Chris, it's been a long time. I miss you, buddy. Adrian Park, a viral water video. Elijah Redwing, immunocompromised from the creek. Miss Denny, husband brain cancer. Oof. Welcome, everyone, to your first case. This is Koenig Chemical class action suit. Well, this... He gestures at the stacks upon stacks of bankers' boxes pushed up against the wall. Plus all of that. That is some serious heavy lifting. Literally. Koenig's a heavy hitter. Of course, you've all heard of them. Pesticides, seed strains, fertilizers. If it's agricultural, they'd probably make it. Of course, that case is centered on Sweetbrook, right? In Nebraska? Got it in one. Though it's fairly memorable these days, videos of water lighting on fire straight from the tap tend to get attention. I saw that video. It was surreal. Actually, it's based on real events. It's not that strange thing going on in town. Cancer deaths in Sweetbrook have skyrocketed in the last decade as well. The timeline matches Koenig's introduction of a new maluriatic acid in their fertilizers. We believe it's leaching into the groundwater. Interesting. Who we're representing doesn't matter. Well, I mean, it does, but... Has this happened anywhere else? We've been hired to represent the plaintiffs in Sweetbrook. Is another location relevant? I assumed Sweetbrook representatives, figuring we saw them. You want to get all your dots and T's crossed. Maybe, maybe not. It might not change our strategy much, but it can't be the only place where Koenig sold these products. If other areas also have contaminated groundwater and similar cancer rates, it could really bolster the science. Excellent point. Which is why I've already recommended looking for other clusters to SATI. This is the biggest case that the firm has at the moment, so all of you will be working on it. All of us? But how will we stand out in the partnership competition if we're all on the same case? You'll be evaluated on several fronts at once. Billable hours, of course, but if it's not just about the quantity of work you do. I'll be expecting innovative legal thinking and, of course, wins. You mean like the innovative thinking I just had a minute ago? But how will you determine what's truly innovative? I'm not sure how to plan for this. I think what Aislinn means is, how will we know how we're doing? Regular updates from me on your performance, and since I know you're wondering, Gigi and Quinn are currently neck and neck. Gigi and Quinn? What did they do? Gigi was aware of the case already. Knowing what's going on in the legal world is vital if you plan to bring in new business for the firm. But Quinn hasn't done anything special! Actually, what I just said was. Gabe's mouth twisted into an amused smile as he looks at Bao. Firstly, Quinn walked through the door yesterday dressed like he was already had a partnership. First impressions matter. Some of us spend our time brushing up on precedent instead of going suit shopping. And, just as importantly, Quinn asked the right question at the right time, a skill I value highly. This makes you look like you can't keep up, if you ask me. You want to go a full 10 rounds, fam? But that's not fair. We haven't even done any real casework yet. Fair is for your high school sports team. This is a law firm, and your job right now is to impress me, while also simultaneously doing your job. Stray into a legally dubious territory and I'll have a problem. Everything else is fair game. Thinking outside the box separates good lawyers from greats. No, we would not say closer relationship with you help. Are you saying nothing is off limits? I believe I specifically disqualified anything outside the bounds of law. But I could sabotage my competition, and that would be okay? I can't speak to your conscience, Mr. Michaels, but I can say it wouldn't disqualify you. Seriously? It's not gonna help you with this case. It's gonna show me you can do the job. You're free to use the strategy if you want, but I personally don't think it's a winning one. I'm still not sure I'm clear on the metrics. There might be some lawyers who would be impressed by ruthlessness, lawyers that think a moral code is a cute anachronism. If you feel the need to race to the bottom, by all means, follow that hole in your chest where your heart should go. But remember, I'm the one in charge of the competition, and your goal isn't simply to push someone else's head under the water to impress me. If that's all clear, I suggest you get started. After Gabe leaves, there's a moment of tense silence. Then the door opens again. Ah, you all ready? Time to make some introductions. You all follow Ryan out to the lobby. A handful of people are waiting in the rooms adjoining him. Gigi grins as she takes them in. These are the plaintiffs from Sweetbrook. Gabe wants you to interview all of them, but each of you should take lead on one in particular. Tomorrow you'll present your recommendations on who should be public face of the litigation about Gabe. Makes sense. Picking the most sympathetic witness could make or break a class action lawsuit. And the walking textbook strikes again. Listen, you backtalk her again, and I swear to God, I don't care how prissy you dress. So this is a test. Of course it's a test, Quinn. Everything we do here is a test. Okay, Mr. Statistical fucking Board. Ryan passes out files describing each of the plaintiffs. Gigi stops him before he hands her one file, and winks as she grabs a different one. You quickly read through your own. On paper, he seems like a good candidate, but they probably all do. So, who wants to go first? Initiative. Go. Me. After all, showing initiative certainly can't hurt. Oh, by all means, I'm sure we'd all be happy to learn from your mistakes, Quinn. Ryan pops inside to retrieve your witness, and all of you move into a conference room just off the lobby. You quickly scan the information on your witness, glancing up at him as he takes a seat. He seems nervous. Tell me more about your wife's illness. When did all this start? Well, a few years ago, we were trying for a girl, and Izzy miscarried a few times, but even afterward, she couldn't keep anything down. Said the pain wouldn't go away. Turns out it's stomach cancer. She's only 38. We have 3 boys at home. The worst part is, it didn't have to happen. If that Koenig crap hadn't gotten in the water, she'd still be healthy. Can you tell me... why you think you didn't get sick? Ooh, good question. You've been drinking the water, too. Have you seen a doctor yourself? Actually, I don't drink it. Izzy's always used to rag on me, but I only ever drink bottled water. I hate the taste of our tap water. A man after my own heart. Now, none of us will ever drink it again, obviously. I think that's all I need to know. Anyone else have any questions? Yes, there was one thing. Aislinn looks down at the paper where she's been taking notes. After a few seconds, she shakes her head in frustration. Cheeks pink. Actually, never mind. I'm not seeing it anymore. Thank you, Mr. Arquette. You've been very helpful. No, thank you all. I feel like Izzy and I are in good hands. Ryan leads an older man into the room and introduces him as Chris Lapointe, Martin's witness. Nice to meet you, Chris. I don't want to waste your time, so can you tell us about your farm? Well, been at it for 55 years. About 3.5 years back, my cow's started getting sick and dying. Vet tried changing the feed, vitamins, everything. It wasn't until people started talking about the Koenig chemical that I figured it out. Why do you think Koenig's products were the cause of the cow's illness? They're watered from an irrigation canal that runs through my fields. I was using the fertilizer that caused all the problems. Can I ask whether anyone living on the farm got sick? No, thank God. Me and my missus are all still healthy as can be, but which is good, since there's no way I can retire like I was planning. The worst part is this whole thing has ruined burgers for me. How can I trust them anymore? What? That's too bad, but thanks for letting us know. Ruined burgers for you? What? So had the cows not got sick and died, you'd still be fine with burgers. That is the most illogical point I've seen in my entire life. Ryan ushers Mr. Lapointe out and brings in Gigi's witness. Adrian Park, of the infamous Tap Water on Fire video. Man, I dream of a follower account like yours. Nice to meet you. Am I the only one who hasn't seen this viral video? Wait, seriously? Here, I'll show you right now. Watch the video. This is insane. Dude, that's Riddick. How'd you know that would work? Every time I turned on my faucet, there was this weird smell. It reminded me of chemistry class, and I guess I thought of Bunsen burners. Martin and Bao are replaying the video, so you take the opportunity to ask a question. Adrian? Did you make any other videos? Specifically lighting the fire, or water on fire, that is. It's important to know if that was a regular occurrence. I tried to do it about a week later, but nothing happened. But I was pretty baked that night, so I'm honestly not sure if it was me or the water that was the problem. Jesus God, he's a bad witness. As far as I'm concerned, anything as popular as your video can only help the case. Like, it was even better than Squirrel Fashion Show. Ryan ushers him out and returns with a mother and a child. He's thin and a bit fragile looking. And you are, Elijah Redwing. I'm betting the medical stuff is a little confusing, but we'll have your mama fill it in later. It's okay, Mr. McGraw. I was in the hospital for months. There's a lot of time to read in hospitals. Honestly, I think he knows more about the ins and outs of it than I do. Elijah's always been a curious boy. Okay, in that case, did your doctors know what spiked your immune system? No, they haven't been able to figure it out or find out for sure. That could make the question of proof difficult. It says in your file that you spent a lot of time in the stream by your nose. What were you doing there? I was tracking the life cycle of the ringed crayfish that live there. They're scientifically fascinating. Elijah, can you tell me... Are there any farms near the creek? There's a farm on the other side of the stream. I haven't measured the exact distance, but the field ends about 20 meters from the water? 20 meters? What's that in real distance? Oh, for the love of... About 66 feet. It's very close. Sweet. I think that's all we need from Bubble Boy. Wow, real empathy there, dick. Dear Lord, you know you said that out loud, don't you? If we do go to trial, I really hope you plan what you're gonna say better. Yeah. Ryan leads the Red Wings out and returns with the older woman Aisling is interviewing. Aisling coughs anxiously. Oh, Miss, Denny, but according to my notes, it was Frank Denny who was, sorry, just let me sort through these. Take your time, dear. I'm in no hurry. Her husband has brain cancer. I think Aislinn is hoping you can tell us some more about, what happened to your husband? Right, yes, that'd be very useful. My husband had cancer, like all others who use those chemicals. By the time we caught it, it was stage 4. Too late to save him. He was a lifelong smoker, so they all assumed that was what took him. But he died of brain cancer, not lung cancer. You can still get other forms of cancer from smoking, unfortunately. That could be really muddy with the water with the jury, especially if Koenig's lawyers go after her. Well, the others ask a few questions, but nothing else comes up that seems related to the case. We may have more questions, but for now, I guess I think that's all. Aislinn types furiously in a spreadsheet, cheeks flushing as Ryan ushers the woman out. Why is she always flushing now? Why? I can't wait to see you at trial. A few minutes later, Ryan returns. Have you guys got everything you need? I'm supposed to get the witnesses back to the airport. I've certainly seen enough. Seems pretty cut and dried from where I'm standing. Really? And who are you planning to recommend? Duh, it's your guy, Quinn. Arquette, father of 3 kids, losing their mommy, maybe the kids get sick next. Juries will eat that crap up. Maybe, but something about his interview felt very off to me. I get a little flustered during interviews. I wish I could pinpoint it. If you're trying to make the rest of us second-guess ourselves, you're gonna need to take up your game, Tanaka. Agreed. And I must say, I'm surprised. I wouldn't place you as the type to use psychological warfare against your competition. What? I'm not. I really do think something was off with him. You agree with me, don't you, Quinn? Yeah, I'm gonna go with... Yeah, Aisling's right. Something's up with him. It felt like he was telling us his story, and more like performing it, if that makes sense. That's it exactly. Yeah, but so what? Whoever's the face of this case is gonna need to perform for the media and the jury. It sounds to me like grasping at straws, a little advice covering the same ground twice won't help you win this competition. Oh yeah, what's your plan? Spend tonight learning about the science. I'm sure Gigi agrees. Staying a step ahead is the play here. Looks like Martin thinks she's the real competition. Reading files is easy. I'm already through half the discovery. Reading people, I think it's a smart way to get to the heart of the case. Already through half? You know, you'd do a lot better in this competition if you learned to read a little slower. You always are jabbing at a woman right now, and it's starting to piss me off. With that, Martin stands and storms out of the room with a wry chuckle and a lackluster salute. Bao stands and follows him. I suppose he has a fair point, or has a point. As far as the competition is concerned, billable hours matter. True, but I'm not particularly concerned about winning the competition. I just want to do interesting work. Which is why I'd love to tag along if you do a second interview, Aisling. Promise I won't steal your thunder. I just want to find out what that guy is hiding. Please do. I'd love the help. Do you want to join us, Quinn? I know how sad he thinks. Working together will only help us all get ahead. Plus, this job is easier when you've got friends around. We can get to know each other and help each other out. What do you say? Join Aisling and Gigi to get to know them better and ensure you make the right choice in the case. Her cheeks are super cute. I don't know what it is. Little freckles. Sadness. Stop staring. The 3 of you catch up to Mr. Arquette just as he's heading out the door. Hey there, did you all need something? We were hoping to round out your file for our records. Would you be willing to talk to us a little longer? It's not that I'm not willing, but they tell me I have a plane to catch. I keep a spreadsheet of major flight routes on my phone. There's one flight out tonight. I'm sure an assistant can get you on that. And I know a great restaurant in the city. 2 Michelin stars. And my sister's a sous chef there. So we'll totally get hooked up. My treat. 2 Michelin stars. Well, I don't know what that means, but it sounds fancy. Count me in. Just 2? That's all? Oh, boy. Sometime later, you arrive at a swanky restaurant. The hostess recognizes Gigi and leads you to a quiet corner table. Whoa, this is even fancier than the Sweet Brook steak and stuff. You promise I'm not paying for any of this? Wouldn't let you if you tried. In that case, I'll have the filet mignon with a glass of champagne. Excellent choice, sir. Gigi smiles a little over her menu, and then the waiter finishes taking orders and disappears, leaving the 4 of you alone. I never got to pick anything. Mr. Arquette looks excitedly around at the other diners. I wish Izzy could see this place. She could probably even have a sip of my champagne without it getting her sick. Speaking of Izzy, what do you do for a living? I don't think you actually mentioned that. Well, that's because I don't work outside the home, not since the good old days when Izzy and I were both baristas at the coffee house. I'm the primary caregiver for our kids. If you ask me, it sounds like a slog. Parenting is a tough job. I guess it is, but I love the boys so much, it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that one. The waiter comes with your drinks. He sets them down in front of you. Mr. Arquette picks up a champagne and takes a happy sip. If you don't mind my asking, how are you affording the chemo? Your wife must have excellent insurance. I assume she's not still working at the coffee house, is she? Mr. Arquette bites his lip a little anxiously. No, she had to leave the job. We both did. Oh, what do you mean? Just that it was part of our settlement. I would definitely remember reading about a settlement. He pulls his client file out and flips through the pages. There's no mention of it. Mr. Arquette shifts uncomfortably in his seat. It's really no big deal. One of the machines malfunctioned, and it burned my arm pretty bad. They thought there might be permanent nerve damage. Oof, that sucks, dude. I managed a full recovery, but we didn't know I would. And my lawyers found out Coffee House was using off-label replacement parts in its machines to cut costs. The chain didn't want word to get out, so they settled for a buttload, as long as I agreed to sign an NDA. You literally just broke your NDA by saying what you said, but you are also in the confidence of lawyers, so... loopholes. You exchange a startled look with Gigi and Aislinn. A major settlement with a national brand, that's a huge red flag. Opposing counsel would paint him as a greedy, perpetual litigant. You all quickly control your features and turn back to Mr. Arquette. Mr. Arquette, I have to ask... why did your wife leave the job? She wasn't injured too, was she? No, but there was a point where it looked like Coffee House was going to play hardball, and she threatened to go to the press. Even had an interview lined up with the biggest local news channel. I'm guessing their lawyers rolled her into the NDA when you got her your settlement? Exactly. Your wife does still work outside the home, correct? Since the settlement, I mean. Yep, she's in marketing. She used some of the settlement to go back to school. After the revelation, you deliberately turn your conversation to more neutral topics. You're just finishing your meal when Aislinn's phone buzzes on the table. That's your ride, Mr. Arquette. The firm has a town car outside to take you to the airport. You guys are waiting on me hand and foot. Wait till we get to trial. You can probably milk a penthouse hotel suite out of the firm if you play your cards right. You all say your goodbyes, and he heads out to the waiting car, leaving the 3 of you all stunned at the table. Talk about a bombshell. Was this in his case file somewhere? Definitely not. There's no way Sadie knew about his previous settlement. She'd never have considered him if she did. Thank God you were here. I don't think I had known how to get that out of him on my own. True, but without your instincts, none of us would have thought to dig deeper. I think we can safely say he's not the right pick for the star witness. But now, I'm not sure who is. Gwen, who are you leaning towards? I thought this was supposed to be a competition. I'm gonna think about this one for a minute. Alright, I'm gonna go with Elijah, the kid scientist. He's intelligent, well-spoken, plus any jury member's heart would melt if they saw Elijah on the stand. Conventional wisdom says it's risky to hang your case on a child's testimony. But he did seem up to the challenge. Besides, cautiousism in his case seems strongest to me. Causation, excuse me. Cute kids, hard to argue against that, I'm in. The waiter comes by and Gigi hands over her card. While he's running it, Gigi turns to you, face serious. Also, the kid, while being immunocompromised, doesn't make him weak of heart or mind. Look, I think the two of you should take credit for the figuring this one out, honestly. I'm not sure I even want to make partner yet. But you just bought the dinner. Clearly you helped sort through this. And then pay me back in cocktails. They taste even better when I'm not buying. Well, if you insist. Thanks, Gigi. Alright, I'm hitting the bathroom before Aislinn pro-cons me into taking credit I don't want. You learn vital information about the plaintiff. Yeah, he's a bad... Oh, something tells me we go through here and we do a checklist. We'll see. Once you've both made a quick note of what you learned in your case files, Aislinn turns to you. Gwen, I wanted to thank you again. She reaches across the table to take your hand, then blushes slightly. She realizes what she's done and drops it. I love what I do. I think I'm good at it. And I'm a lot better with the precedent than with the people. Aislinn, don't put yourself down. I'm not. No one is naturally good at every aspect of law, which is why this competition is good. It'll force me out of my comfort zone. I want to get better at this, whether or not that leads to a partnership right away, so thanks for coming along. I don't think I would have dug that up without you, and watching you there, well, I think it taught me something valuable. Clearly we make a good team. I certainly think so. Soon, Gigi returns, and the three of you head home. The next morning, you all gather in Gabe's office. He hands each of you a note card and takes a seat a few feet away. Alright, you know the drill. Write down the name of the person you think we should anchor the case with. Martin raises an eyebrow. How very cloak and dagger. Should we sweep for bugs first? Listen up, bro. I love spy stuff like this. Plus, I don't want any of you dorks cheating off of me. With an eye roll, Martin picks up his pen. You look at the note card, turning over the possibilities in your head. This is the first chance to really make a good impression in the partnership competition. After what we learned about his history at dinner, I think Mr. Arquette is definitely the wrong choice. But this is my last chance to impress Gabe with my pick. For star witness, I recommend the kid scientist. Write your answer on the card, turn the card over, and then pass it to Gabe. Alright, kids, moment of truth. I'm going to read your answers, and you're going to explain yourself. Martin, you chose Mr. Arquette. Tell us why. He seemed honest, thoughtful, sincerely in love with his kid wife, plus he has 3 kids. Will make him jury catnip. If you know how to select a jury, at least, but I've seen you in a courtroom, and frankly, your jury skills are exceptional. Strong thinking. Glad we're on the same page. Let's move on to Bao. You picked Elijah. He's a little nerdy, but people love sick kids, especially when they seem like little mini adults. No-brainer. Bold choice. I'm sure I don't need to tell you the children are notoriously unreliable on the stand. That's me, bro. I'm bold. Shit. Why do I feel like we should have picked one of the other three? Gabe raises an eyebrow, smile quirking his lips, but says nothing. The next card is from Gigi. She picked Adrian. Thought we all went into this thinking it was the kid. I hate all of you. Adrian's a mediagenic as all hell. He's captured the attention of millions of people. I think he can easily win over a jury. You lean over and whisper to Gigi. What made you change your mind since last night? Honestly, when I got home, my girlfriend was playing Adrian's video. She barely even goes online outside of work. I figured that was my sign to follow my first impulse after all. Aislinn, you voted for Elijah. I think he'd do great on the witness stand, despite his age. But to be honest, Quinn helped me think this through, so he should get all the credit. Gabe's eyes widen. Last but not least, Quinn. I'm especially interested to hear your reasoning, seeing as you convinced a fellow associate to follow it. Quinn, you chose Elijah. He's a smart kid, likable, and articulate. I think the jury will love him. There's a moment of silence. Gabe looks back at your card, meets your eyes. Interesting. Since we're nearing the end of the exercise, can I ask you why you didn't choose Mr. Arquette? He seemed like an obvious choice to me, for all the reasons Martin mentioned. Actually, there's one problem with Mr. Arquette that hasn't come up yet. He has a prior settlement with Coffee House, and it was large. Opposing counsel could paint him as a chronic litigant. Gabe's eyebrows rise. It's clear that this is the first time since you walked into the room he's truly caught off guard. This isn't anywhere in our discovery, but if it's true, it's incredibly relevant. How did you find this out? Share the credit. After the interviews last night, Aislinn said she had some doubts about Mr. Arquette. She suggested we take him to dinner, and it all came out. That's true, but I would never have gotten the full story without Quinn's help. This is really his win. It's everybody's win. Let's call it a team effort. Mr. Arquette took his wife's name after they married, which is why it didn't immediately turn up in Discovery. I must say I'm impressed. To find something the senior partners didn't show shows serious innovation. Given this new information, I'm going to have to agree with Quinn. We know who our star witness is now. Great job, Aislinn and Quinn. You two have seriously impressed me today. As Aislinn knows, I don't say that often. Thank you all for your hard work. I've learned a lot. And Quinn, you won't get one up on the partners often, so enjoy the feeling. God, his fucking smile is creepy as shit! I have to say it. Next up, Koenig's witnesses. These depositions will be with hostile, well-coached people, and they can't be easily cracked. Give me 12 seconds and a hot cup of coffee. I'll break them. Put your strategy together, start reviewing the materials, revving too. Depositions begin on Friday. Gabe heads out, leaving a crackle of tension in his wake. The competition has officially begun and the pressure has never felt more real. So, 83 boxes of documentation to sort through. Though, just 47 left for me. Yes, we all know you're a freak of nature. When it actually wins you a case, I'll be worried. Speaking of worried, I'm headed to the library. Even if we can bang through a box every 2 hours, well... please don't finish the math on that. My brain hurts already. Later that day. Boom! Another box down. God, you smile. And your eyeballs aren't even bleeding yet. Nicely played, Quinn. Is that the one in the Koenig data in that? I need to take some more notes on that. Really? Am I the only one who thinks we all need a drink? Of coffee, yeah. Does it help you focus on soil sample analysis, or isn't incipient alcoholism just another of the perks of a frat alum? Dude, now I'm thinking it's you who needs a drink. Actually, studies have shown there's a serious fall-off in your brain's activity retaining information after a period of sustained focus. At least if you're not a freak, that is. And with Bao, we should all get some of the nearest slightly or dimly lit bar and start making sweaty mistakes. We'll work better tomorrow if we do. Speak for yourself. Some of us don't make mistakes. I'm starting to see people's big complaints with our MC's face. It's official, you've shattered my focus. So, one drink couldn't hurt, right? Oh, if it can help me fall asleep faster so I can get back at this better rested, it might be a necessity. Oh, hell yes, get ready to be shown down how it's done. I'm already regretting this. Aislinn, you've worked here a while. Is there somewhere nearby that we can go to unwind? Well, there is the Brass Monkey. The bar is buzzing with activity when you arrive. You find a booth as Gigi heads for the bar, returning a minute later with a tray full of drinks. Why do I suddenly feel like saying there's a monkey gonna hang down from the ceiling and feed us all bananas? Alright everyone, your choice. Beers or shots, take your pick, or take both. There's plenty for everyone. Bao immediately reaches for one of each. Beers or shots? I've never been a... Don't we have work tomorrow? Also, I'm never a beer person. All the more reason to make tonight count. Considering when my alarm is going off, I'm gonna say count me out then. More from me. As far as I'm concerned, when you work as hard as we do, you deserve to play hard too. No offense, but it doesn't really seem like you really work that hard, compared to the rest of us at least. Gigi stares at her for a long moment and then bursts into laughter. Good point. Guess that means I have to play even harder to make up the difference. And then, that note... Bao, I need a backup, and I decided you're the man for the job. The bartender just bet me that I couldn't drink a shot of Tabasco. Aislinn recoils, making a face. Why would you ever do that? Because people who have alcohol issues are dumb. 'Cause it's awesome? Yep. Case in point. As Gigi and Bao head for the bar, the door swings open and you turn and see Gabe looking your way. I've always heard the real way to impress the partner is outside the firm. I've never known what I'd talk about with someone like Gabe. Oh no, I'm not opening a new front for judgment. We're being ranked for our work, not our barroom small talk. Though, speaking of letting loose, have I ever told you about high school debate record? This was before people were using critiques. Of course, the word should be spelled with a K. Critique, lifted, of course, from the German philosophical... Drink a fucking drink, dude, and shut up. Oh, how interesting. She flashes you a save me look as Martin drones on. Quickly, Martin, look, a monkey! Now seems like a good time to get away from this conversation for a little while. I might even make a few allies at the office. Wait. How many? Why can't we have a joint thing? Where is a fourth option here, Pixelberry? Seriously, fourth option. Endure Martin. Ah, for the love of... I'll save Aislinn, I guess. Wow, is your stomach growling as intensely as mine, Aislinn? Because I think I just heard it from over here. Aislinn looks at you blankly for a moment, then her eyes widen in understanding. She nods enthusiastically. Yes, you definitely did. I'm absolutely starving. You know, we should get something to eat so we can focus better on Martin's story. Oh, I don't mind if... No, we'll be complete zombies otherwise. Back soon! Aislinn grabs her purse and comes with you to the bar where you find seats and grab food menus. Quickly, Gabe, come here! What'll it be? I'll have, a dozen wings. Depends on the flavor. Loaded fries. Mozzarella sticks. God, now I'm craving mozzarella sticks. Shut up. Loaded fries. The onion rings for me, please. Oh, mother of... I'll get that going right away. It's off to put in your order, and you turn to Aislinn, eyebrow raised. Feel free to thank me anytime. For what? Yep. Saving you from that boring story, obviously. I saw the look on your face. Aislinn reddened slyly, lips curving into a small smile. It was a bit more detailed than I expected. And one-sided? I don't think this counts as your favor, though. I get to choose when I cash in that debt. Noted. The bartender plunks down a red plastic basket of onion rings in a bowl filled with golden brown fries, covered with chili, onions, melted cheese. Oh, God! Enjoy. Aislinn takes an onion ring and eats it slowly, peeling off the breading first before eating the onion inside. What the fuck is the point of an onion ring? I'm used to it, though. That doesn't make it better. Wait, what did I miss? Shit. Getting mansplained too is the worst. No offense, but what would you know about that? Oh. Okay. Even I can notice a textbook explaining or example of mansplaining. We all went to law school. Why wouldn't you or he assume you were on the debate team? I'll admit, Martin can be a bit arrogant. Aislinn flashes you a rare smile. I was gonna say pedantic, but that works too. Aislinn picks up another onion ring and pulls off the breading, eating it. From what I can tell, you've got much more going on for you than he does. Aislinn stops, holding a naked piece of translucent onion in her hand before her shoulders slump. Sure, except that one thing that where I'm able to actually say what's on my mind. What do you mean? I kind of an issue speaking up for myself sometimes, especially when it involves telling someone no. So it's not just witnesses you have a hard time talking to, then? Well, what can I say? I'm incredibly consistent, since childhood, actually. Though back then, shy was enough of an explanation for everyone. Yeah, it doesn't work in the real world, even though it should. And then when, you're shy or introverted, all the people who are extroverted and outgoing tell you you're rude for being you. That's got to be really hard, especially in an environment as competitive as McGraw-Byrne. The worst part is, I know exactly what I want to say the moment the other person has left the room. In the moment, though, I just get choked up, is the best way to put it. There are lawyers who can just play things totally off the cuff, but I'm not one of them. I shouldn't say this since you're my competition, but Aislinn, you should have more confidence. As far as I'm concerned, you're one of the top competitors. Me? You. Yeah, you need to start treating yourself like you're at the top. Well, I do work hard. See, this is one of those moments where you're telling a shy, introverted person to be more outgoing. Stop it. We need to accept them for who they are. Yeah, but you don't give yourself any credit for it. And if you don't believe you're good enough, who else will? You were the one who realized our cat was hiding something. Those instincts are hugely important. Yeah, but without you... Nope, none of that. Now, the only thing left is for you to realize how great you are. I'll admit you're making a pretty strong statement. You deserve this as much as anyone else. She smiles wryly at you. If you keep helping me like you did with Mr. Arquette, I might wind up believing you. Don't wait for that. You should believe it already. With my creepy smile. Jesus Christ, I would not hire this man for even being my gardener. Now I'm even more glad to have the competition. Oh yeah, why? Oh God, he keeps smiling. Because whether or not I win, now I know I have someone in my corner at McGraw-Byrne. Not just in your corner. You have someone who knows you're pretty damned amazing, even if you're not seeing it yet. Who knows? I might come around to his way of thinking eventually. Her eyes linger on you for a moment, drift down to your lips, and then she sucks in a breath and squares her shoulders. On that note, we should probably get back. To Martin. I might mention to Martin that debate is not just a topic of interest, as practice speaking up for myself, of course. Smiling, you take your greasy bar food and drinks back to the booth. Oh god. Oh, we can do another one. You don't see Gabe by the bar, but you spot a door to the patio, which you push through. Outside, you quickly spot him. See, this one seems more natural. If you help her go speak up to Martin while you bounce for a minute to talk to Gabe. Already found your way to the brass monkey, I see. What can I say? I've always been a quick learner. So, senior partner, how's life in the big leagues? Gabe leans a bit closer, close enough that you can smell a hint of sandalwood on his skin. I'll let you in on a little secret. I've always been in the big leagues, now I just have a shinier nameplate. Honestly, you sound a little cocky. Gabe doesn't look offended. If anything, he looks even more amused. It doesn't sound cocky. It is cocky, but if you can back it up, well... He shrugs, eye sparkling, and then takes a thoughtful sip of his drink. This profession is all about what you can make other people believe. Cocky is just a tool to make them think they're going up against the best. Basically a part of wardrobe, then? Precisely. But enough about me and my shiny new promotion. I'm more interested in you. How's McGraw-Byrne treating you? It's only been a few days, but it's been amazing. The work has been challenging in the best way possible. I'm already loving life in the city. I couldn't be happier. Really? Nothing you could possibly want? Well, a partnership would be nice, but I'll just have one of those as soon as the competition is done, so no point in getting greedy. Abe throws back his head and laughs. Good for you. People always try to be falsely modest, but really, competence is much more appealing. I'll agree with that. You notice his eyes flit down to your mouth. You lean a bit closer. You mean in a lawyer? Gabe's eyes meet yours, and a small smile plays across his lips. Absolutely, among other things. Gabe turns for a moment, flagging the bartender to order another drink for both of you. I thought you were one to watch the day I met you. I told Sadie as much. Well, that's meaningless. You have to watch all of us. I plan to keep an eye on you before the promotion. Now I just get paid to do it. But for what it's worth. Gaze lingers a moment too long, and then he shrugs. I like you for the win, especially after today's performance. Interesting. I have to ask. Why does everyone from McGraw-Byrne come here? I know it's close, but I'm not sure what else place has going for it. Gabe gives you a broad smile. I suppose I can't speak for everyone else, but to me, the lack of distinction is exactly what appeals. I'm not sure I follow. It isn't a bar where people come to see and be seen or to prove their status. No one here is impressed by the cut of your suit or the title on your business card. You could just let it go for a bit. That actually would be nice. So the great Gabriel Rishi wishes he was just one of the commoners, huh? He turns to you, face unreadable, gaze penetrating occasionally. And he draws himself up, moving away from you along the bar, his gaze turning distant. I've been monopolizing you. I'll let you get back to your friends or whatever you all are up to each other. He looks you over once more, lips curling a bit at the corner. Just remember, I've been betting on you since day one, before then even. Smiles mysteriously, raising his glass to you, and walks away before you think how to respond. Mystified, you head back inside to your table. You're all gathered over around Balbra, chatting easily, when Martin pulls you aside. Swear to God, if you start talking about German mysticisms, I'm getting out of here. Listen, I reviewed your case, the tree law thing, not bad. Oh, I'm flattered? Don't be, the plaintiff couldn't have litigated his way out of a paper bag with 2 holes in it. Excuse me? How do you figure that? All he had to do was cite Bates v. Arnoldson, which clearly established that previous maintenance costs aren't covered under tree law. Either that or Ruiz v. Alsop Arbitum, which actually went further, establishing a precedent for costs incurred on municipal property. I've never heard of these cases. I have to believe. I know you haven't, that's my point. It's great that Sadie's reaching out to promising young lawyers across the land, and I'm sure you're something else in Bump Country Bumpkin Town. But at Yale, we study law. Yep. You don't belong here, Quinn. Case closed. You're sputtering at a retort when Gigi plants her elbows on the table, gazing around at all of you with a loopy grin. This place is amazing. It reminds me of the Ayahuasca retreat I went to a few months back, but you know, less puking, or at least so far. The what now? As much fun as this is, though, I'm heading home for the night. I need to save my real partying for the weekend. What? Just when I thought you were gonna be cool. Gigi laughs, rolling her eyes. Trust me, I'm even more cooler than you can imagine. You're all starting to let loose when all 5 of your phones buzz along the tabletop in unison. What the... I'm guessing that's not happy news. You pick up your phone to see a message from Sadie. Big development in the Koenig case. Meet in the office immediately. Wait, now? But it's almost midnight! Anything important enough to drag us into work in the middle of the night can't be good. What could head of the firm want with you in the middle of the night? And what will it mean for your ranking in the partnership competitions? Keep playing to find out. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description below, links on social media, Discord, and if you'd like to support me and my content. And without further ado... the one guy is so obnoxious. The other guy is at least, like, footloose, kind of like... he's kind of like Chris from Freshman Equivalent. Gigi kind of reminds me of the girl from Bloodbound, the kind of like sidekick person you kind of had. That was also a love interest. I doubt Gigi would be our love interest, though, or even have a chance with us. But it's Pixelberry, who knows, they throw you for a loop, maybe throw you to Martin. Martin's just a prick, let's be real. But, without further ado, I really wish Pixelberry would redo some of the art for the male MCs. I get it, we are a majority of this app, and, you know, visual novels and crap for this app are geared more towards women. It literally and figuratively has always been that way. However, some of the things have been thrown down the throats of people's gullets or whatnot for a long time, with when you pick a female or male, because Pixelberry doesn't know how to differentiate between 2 branches on a tree, that basically they'll shove a certain interest down your throat, whether you want it or not. Gabe is already showing signs of that. Very subtle signs, but signs nonetheless. Again, I get it. It's a female-oriented book, but let's just say you're a female who's into Aislinn, and you're not into men. You're still shoving that down people's throats. I'm a guy. You're shoving Gabe down our throats. You know, if people are gonna make a big deal about Ethan and all that crap because they picked a diamond choice, let's not stop now, let's call out other things, too. But without further ado, thanks for watching, peace out.